Hey guys, this is Dave Bennett with mowg-pro.com, and I want to go over the updates that we've been doing. It's November the 1st. Yeah, hard to believe. So for the past 10 days or so, I've been tweaking the heck out of this V5 project and the automation functionality that we've been aiming for all this time. And I got it to a point where, in my case, it's not set up in this one for you guys because it's like a step more. I'll come out with a model and put it out later. But for instance, in my case, I can fill out one form like this and submit it, and then I can hit this hit me, and it will generate 10 project folders with 200 pages each. That's 2,000 pages onto a website and can keep going. It'll do another 10 project folders with 200 pages each, different pages, all of them unique, and put it on the next website. And it'll do another 2,000 pages on the next website. And I've got it set for runs I'm doing that put up 2,000 pages per website by 5 websites. That's 10,000 pages. And I do it by just hitting that button. First, I fill in the form with the run I want to do, the information I need, the name of the production, the name of the thing, like Acme Window Washing, or whatever company, Forex is us. Any company, anything you're trying to promote, with or without geo-targeting. There's both the geo-targeting version and the non-geo-targeting version, which is this V5 no geo. And the only real difference as far as the form goes is that there's no geo-target block. It's just the name of the thing, the image file, like in my case I might want to use this particular image here, okay, and so I type in the name of that image. And if I want to rotate between images, then maybe I use 2 images, then I type in both names, okay, and then the destination link where I want people to land, and the keywords, and I'm recommending around 50. Right in between the 10 and 100 is great, but you can go as low as 10. You have to have at least 10 or the thing will error out. And 100 is about as far as you can go. If you go more than that, you're almost certainly going to get broken links on the run. You don't want broken links. You want the pages to all interconnect properly and all the sitemaps to be correct. No broken links. So just do as many as 100 keywords per run. Can you do more? Could you do 1,000? Yeah, you could. By adjusting the profile for a larger file count. And that's something I'm not going to go over right now. I'm just trying to teach you guys a really simple way to use this and how easy it is. So really, that's just about it. The first thing you're going to do when you get this and install it and put it in the right place is hit step 2, fill out the field, submit it, close it, hit step 3, and it's going to start off by putting the pages on our sample website for your testing purposes, mowg-samples.com. Okay, and you'll be able to go and see what the pages look like. They'll look like this, except they'll have your image. They'll have, and if you're clicking on these links, you're going to see other versions of this page, but they're all tailored to different keywords. You can see how it works. Online marketing services, contact MOWG Crew. That's my production name. This is the name of my company in this case. Okay, it says online marketing, our top suggestion to go with online marketing services. Over here it would say website marketing, our top recommendation, and here it says website marketing company, choose mowg-crew. Okay, so it's the same image, and it'll click through to the same website or web page or wherever it is I wanted people to go. It could be any page. It doesn't have to be this page. It can be any deeper page on my website. If I wanted them to land on my testimonials, I could do keywords about MOWG review, MOWG scam, MOWG results, MOWG samples, MOWG testimonials, things like that. And I could lead people right to this page. I could do this as a second run, okay? And so I can do these runs back to back as fast as I want, with the caveat that you don't want to generate too many pages onto a single website or a single hosting account, more appropriately, in any given week. You want to move at a pace that Google thinks is okay. Just because we can produce 100,000 files in 45 minutes, those of you with fast enough computers, doesn't mean that we should. That's a bit much. All right, having said all that, like I said, I've been tweaking it for the past like 10 days, and the versions that we have now are new. Okay, what that means is going to mowg-crew.com and getting on our video training page, okay, which you can do right from the main page. You guys know that. Let me just do it. Here's the main page, and you come down here, and here's the training videos. Go there, and this link right here where it says October 22nd updates, Google updates, V5 and automated runs, click that, and right here are two download links. One of them downloads the mowg-pro version 2.7. That is physically this interface, okay? It's our homegrown piece of software that we've been at for over 4.5 years now. It's come so far. And it has the MOWG toolbar version 17.4. That is something that operates on Excel. Okay, Excel 2010 most specifically. Okay, and 2007 is glitchy. You really need the 2010. And it's wise to get the 2010 Pro. You know, we've covered that in earlier videos, and I have all the system requirements explained in these files. So it's not like you're going to be confused. It goes over notes about XP, Vista, and Windows 7. It goes over where you can get Office 2010 Professional trial for 60 days fully free, fully functional if you need it. You know, that's 60 days for free. You can always just uninstall it later if you need to go back, or finally get it. You know, it's really hot. It's very powerful. And then for XP users, you might need Net Framework 3.5. Here's where you get that. Okay. The instructions, like I say, these are really, really clear. And we've gotten very good. If you just follow the information that it gives you, there's really no way to fail. I mean, it's very clear by now. This from all the feedback we've gotten and how to fill it out. So that toolbar is in here as well. You'll want to install the latest version of it. Even if you installed it 3 days ago, this is now updated. It's more. And you can tell because the last update was this. If you hit profile and batch generator, you know, and the assumption is you have a var sheet open and you're doing it in here, not only would you select the profile file path, but you're going to see this increment delay in seconds. You have any idea what that is? And this is awesome. We automated this step as well. How many of you guys recognize what that must be immediately? Because that's part of the updates that came out. And the last point I want to make, yes, even if you installed this 3 days ago, you delete it or rename it to archive your old stuff and download the new one to replace. Okay? Because it is different. It's changed. As of today, some number of hours ago, it is very much updated from those earlier versions. And that includes the new functionality. And so really quick, for those of you who are wondering what that step increment is and are familiar already with the MOWG System's batch function, you're going to understand this, and I'm just simply going to point it out real quick. When we create our runs, and you guys are familiar with how that goes, and we did this on full automation, literally all you have to do is fill out the form, hit submit, and then all you have to do is hit the appropriate step 3, either this one or the 32-bit version if you're on a 32-bit computer. Okay, and that's it. Now, as you probably have seen, it takes forever to upload because each one of the projects it creates, it takes like maybe on your computer 20 to 30 seconds or 15 if it's fast to generate 200 pages, like 15 seconds to generate 200 pages. But then to upload them, depending on your computer connection, your internet connection speed, that could take maybe 3 minutes. Now, these were happening one after the next. And just to point that out, if I come in here and look at this, this is that command that got run. What it does is run this command first after generating the appropriate profiles with the appropriate project paths the way we want it, and it's done automatically. Then this will run the program. That's the path to the actual mowg-pro, and this is the 64-bit version. Again, there is a 32-bit version, okay, and it does not have the x86, right? So it just depends on whether your computer's 32-bit or 64-bit. But you don't have to choose these buttons because that was done up here in step 3. If I right-click and hit edit, you can see what's happening down here at the bottom. It would finally say run in the system output domain 1. That's just the way it's set up for easy expansion when I teach you how to do this on multiple websites. So when you press one button, it runs the pages up on multiple websites, because you will simply create a new folder called output domain 2, And after doing some other stuff, then that will be connected to follow this one. And you can have the whole thing run inside this file where it runs all your runs onto all your domains, however you want it done. And this would say run that 64-bit file that we were just looking at. The 32-bit one, of course, is going to run, where is it? Yeah, it'll run the 32-bit version. Okay, that stack 32-bit. Okay, so you don't have to go in here. You don't have to go in here. You don't have to hit either one. But the point I want to make is this, and most of you guys already know this if you've been around a while. This whole profile would normally have to run. It would create the pages like 20 seconds or so, and then it would upload them, which takes 3 more minutes. Okay, then it would start the next line, and this would take another like 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Then this would take another 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Now you don't really care because this is 200 new pages being put out on your website, followed by another 200 more pages, all of them unique from each other and from the ones that came before, and so on and so forth, all the way down. So it's like 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, and so that was the pain. Now, most of you guys know what's happening there. That's because all these profiles are accessing the same CSV file to run. Okay? That means that when they run, they have to use this CSV file. They actually don't use this. They use a copy that gets generated and renamed inside the system folder, and that happens to be this. But it's really a copy with a new name that was created automatically when you hit the button. So it's just doing its job. Don't worry about the details. Just understand this. A CSV file is a pretty primitive thing. It's been around forever. And one of the hangups of a CSV file is it can only be used by one process at a time. So you cannot have 2 processes use it at the same time. And so the original version of the batch file said, okay, well, just run one profile and then you have to wait for it to stop before you run the next. Well, here's the reality check. The first profile only needs that CSV file for something like 20 seconds. It just needs it long enough to create the pages. Then when it's uploading the pages, it doesn't use the CSV file anymore. It closes out of that. Okay? And the CSV file would be free while this is uploading the pages. The CSV file is freed up, so this one could start and use its turn. It could, so if this one waited 20 seconds or so, a safe enough number for this one to finish with the file, then while it's uploading, this one could already be starting to create pages. Then while it's uploading and this is still uploading, this one can start to create pages. They just have to take their turns. So this one has to wait like 20 seconds for this to get done. This one would have to wait for like 40 seconds for both of these to get done. This one, and that's kind of the idea, right? So if we could do that, it would be oh so much faster because the pages are getting generated along the way. That just chops it down. And yet, here's the final point. We don't want to be able to run 10 at once. Why? Because they're all going on the same site and they're all separate threads. And if you know anything about FTP, you probably know that there's usually a default max of like 7 threads you're allowed to have at the same time to the same website. Okay? So we don't want 10 threads trying to access the website at the same time, uploading at the same time, because some are simply going to be denied by the server. And that's useless. Then the pages don't go up and you got to deal with them manually. So here's what we chose to do. We wanted like 5 connections. We wanted like 2 of these to run, one then the next. That's true. So this one will run, then that one will follow when the first one is completely finished running. That's true. But while that's going on, our second thread will be for the next 2, but it has to start like 20 seconds later or whatever the appropriate time is. 20 seconds? That's for a reasonable speed computer doing about 200 pages per profile. Okay, that would be 20 seconds. All right, my computer does about 200 pages in 15 seconds. It's more like 12, so I buffer it in, and I would say 15. But a lot of computers, it's more like 20. And if you're on 32-bit, you can't even use this breakdown idea because really 32-bit runs so slow that you just want to stick with the old-fashioned method of doing them all one after the next because you don't have multi-cores, you know. And XP computers, Windows XP, that's all 32-bit. And those guys usually trip over each other in the programming. They're just not that advanced. XP's pretty old by now, and so some of the data could actually get mixed and matched if it's trying to run multiple profiles at once. And so we don't want to do that either. But for most of you, you guys on Vista, you guys on Windows 7, especially Windows 7, I mean, that's what the software was built for in the first place. It was built on Vista in its earliest stages, but by the time we got to mowg-pro, we were building it in a Windows 7 64-bit environment, and then we made it backwards compatible to Vista and backwards compatible to XP, backwards compatible to 32-bit. Okay, and that's for all you guys with 32-bit laptops, you know, running Windows 7 32-bit. It's all compatible, it all works. But here's the point. Like I said, we wanted to split these up into groups of 2 and run 5 threads at once. Okay, that makes sense. That's not too many, and that's a good number, and that allows us to really maximize our speed without having too many connections to the to the server. We did it. Here's what you see now that you may not have seen before with the newest versions of the toolbar, the newest version of the UAP-V5 that went up yesterday, I think, is when this functionality began. Today, anyway, it has more involved. See that 1.bat and a 2.bat and a 3.bat and a 4.bat? And then you have the 32-bit versions for 32-bit computers, which frankly, again, you don't even want to use. You might just crash your computer anyway because Moji's pretty powerful when you let it loose. So we built the 32-bit version just to go the old-fashioned way, one after the next. But you guys who are lucky enough to have 64-bit computers, which is the standard these days, the advantage you have is the 1-bat, 2-bat, 3-bat, 4-bat, and 5-bat. What's happening if I right click one and edit it, and yes, you can also do that. Batch files are really just text files that are renamed to .bat because they're text files like this, but they have commands in them. Now, they're just going to be text files if they're .txt, but once you change it to .bat with the right kind of syntax in here, the right kind of commands, then it knows that this is a command that says when you're done, close the window, close out of the process, things like that. So look at this. This has got the first 2 profiles in that list of 10. Okay, and it's going to start running the first one right away. And so about 20 seconds plus 3 minutes later, it'll start this one too. And when it's done, like 20 seconds plus 3 minutes later, it will simply close itself. But at the same time that this 7-minute process is happening, here's what else is going on. This 2-bat, if we edit it, it's got sleep for 20. That means wait for 20 seconds. Okay? And this is not a batch file command, really. This is actually running a program called sleep.exe, which you see here. It was moved into the folder automatically by our trusty old step 3 that does everything for us. It makes a copy of this and sticks it in each of our folders so that whatever folders we generate, then it's going to be there. So check this out. This will wait for 20 seconds, and that really means for the first one of the profiles in 1.bat to finish. That's the 20 seconds it takes for this guy to finish. Then while it starts to upload, this one cannot start yet. It's got to wait until this thing is completely done, right? But in the meantime, this was only 20 seconds and then it released the CSV file. In my case, more like 12 seconds. So I just put 20 in for everyone else. Okay? And it's wait for 20 seconds for that first one to finish. Then this one can start right away. So it's starting like 20 seconds after this one started. Literally. So we're doing twice the work here. When it gets finished, like 3 minutes and 20 seconds after it starts, Then this one gets to run right after that, which will be like 20 seconds after this one is running. See how that works? Then it will exit when it's done. Well, check this out.